Hello people, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks. Guys, hope you're all well. In continuation with the 7 stages of grief, let's have a look at stage number 4. Shock and disbelief, denial, guilt, pain, wrapped in anger. Number 4 is negotiation or bargaining. Now yesterday I mentioned here with guilt and pain, we're looking for a coping mechanism, and we said that it can either take you this way or it can take you that way. So depending on what your coping mechanism is will determine how you end up as far as grief goes. You only get there, you only get your coping mechanism in the negotiation and bargaining stage. So what is this negotiation and bargaining thing all about? The idea behind negotiation and bargaining, or bargaining, is, as you know, when you want to negotiate, you look at what you want to achieve and then how you're going to go about it. What are you prepared to sacrifice? And what is it that you want the other party to sacrifice in this negotiation process? So when it comes down to grief, it's very similar, except that this time it is, you might negotiate and bargain with the facts, the authorities in terms of the hospitals, the doctors, other nursing staff and so on. And you might bargain with yourself even here and say, is this worth dealing with? Is this worth struggling for? Etc. And those kind of thoughts. It might be other thoughts as well. But my opinion is, in terms of the people that I've observed and know that's lost people, not necessarily in the COVID months, but pre that also, of course. It's here where they determine what are they going to sacrifice in order to get a positive coping mechanism. How they negotiate with themselves, the facts, their feelings, their emotions, their thought processes, to get a positive coping mechanism. Needless to say, if you neglect or don't pay much attention to the bargaining, negotiation stage, particularly with yourself, in reference to a good coping mechanism, there's a good chance you're going to decline even further in trying to deal positively with your experience of grief. This bit here, this one here, the negotiation and the bargaining bit, in my opinion, is the most important one. There's nothing you can do about your shock because it's just happened. Your disbelief, there's nothing you can do about it. Declining down to your denial, sinking down, there's not a lot that you can do about that. Experiencing your guilt and pain, there's not a lot that you can do about that. However, when it comes down to this, where you are looking at the facts a little bit more, as I say, critically, with the backdrop of all of this, you are now starting to say maybe things like, okay, it's happened. I can't do anything about it. But I can't stay down here. I can't afford to go even further down. I need to do something to come up, or at least plateau a bit and then rise. There's a lot that you can do here. It's here where you seek information. It is here where you look at options. It's here where you look at various ways of doing things. It's here where you find out really how strong you are as a person here. So when you negotiate and bargain, particularly with yourself, aim to get a positive coping mechanism, because that's the thing that's going to lift you up and not necessarily sink you even further down into despair. So what am I saying here? Pay attention here. Find your resources here. In fact, find your resources before this happens, because that's here where you draw on those resources. But when you are here, your options might be limited. But at least here, when you've got a pool of resources, friends, family, hobbies, these other kind of things, not just intellect and stuff like that, it's here where the big decisions are being made. At least that's my observation. I'm hoping that this little diagram helps as far as you helping yourself deal with grief or loss. Or maybe you know someone who has lost someone, and maybe this is information that is helpful for you to pass on to those individuals also. As before, please do all the YouTube admin, comment. I would like to hear what you have to say. Like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends, please tell all your family. But for now, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks, and I'll speak to you soon.